Here is the review of the Mastermind Creations Stray, which is their take on an IDW Drift. And joining me in this review is my dad.
Hey, y'all. Howdy. So, this is IDW Drift?
Yes. And they're calling him Stray for his... And it's one of those third-party names, of course, because this is a third-party figure, like with all the other Mastermind Creations figures.
Okay. He looks really, I don't know how to put it, a futuristic race car. I don't know.
Yes, but this is a more Cybertronian style race car.
Yeah, it looks like he's sleek and fast. I don't know. Who do you think will win, him or Blur, out of a race? I don't know. I still think Blur win.
And this guy is a repaint and heavily remold of the Mastermind Creations Ultio, their take on an IDW Senator Ratbat, and also the Mastermind Creations Aero Alpha, their take on Wing. But I only have Senator Ratbat and not Wing or Aero Alpha by his third-party name. But taking a closer look at the vehicle mode itself, it looks really nice. Now, there is two versions of this figure. One which which is the original version, which is the one I have here, and the other one, which is, I think, the reissue version, where that version has some more paint apps on him in vehicle mode and comes with more accessories. I think it's the reissue version, or it might be called something else, but this is the original version for what I heard. But the vehicle mode here does look, like I said, really nice. And it does have a lot of white on it, like Drift always had. And it does have some nice red stripes on it, on the front here. And also, these colored plastics, now, you may be looking at this color here, and also this kind of color, thinking it's black, but it's not black. It's actually a, like, darker blue, which is a really hard color to tell, because black and dark blue look like they're both the exact same black. But this is actually a darker blue on both of these, like, vent details here. And I think this is also a darker blue. Yep. This is also a darker blue on these two things on the front. And so are these things here. And you do have some, like, tan paint on these things here. And also on the sides here. And on the front here, you do have some, like, yellow painted in headlights here. And coming to the back here, you do have some more of that tan paint here with a little spot of red here. And some more of that darker blue paint here on both sides here. And on the back, you have some, like, molded in back thrusters or engines on these two here and these two here. And you do have some red painted in taillights on the back. And the top, you do have a nice translucent cockpit here. And you have some blue paint on these things. And some nice painted in details here, done in gray. And this Autobot symbol is a sticker, of course. But the problem that you can see here is that you could see the Autobot symbol on mine is not really centered, because as you can see, it's at an angle, which I could try and fix that. And you do have some more tan here, and some more of that tan paint on these things, and some gray paint on, oh no, it's actually more of that dark blue color on these vent things here. And here's the bottom here. Just a lot of robot kibble here. And he does roll really well.
Alright, now I'm wondering, does that cockpit, does it open? The driver's chair?
Yes, but that's gonna be for the transformation.
Okay. Well, all in all, I think it is a good-looking, I guess you would call it, race?
Cybertronian race car.
Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. That's what it looks like, I guess. It's well, the detail's real good on it. Yeah, the detail's real good on the car, and the paint is good, and it is a good-looking car.
And did you saw some of that dark blue on him?
Yes. Yep.
Because dark blue is really hard to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it is. So, I mean, he's got wings and other stuff as far as, I guess, aerodynamics. I guess, like I said, I would like to see who, between him and Blur, who would win in a race.
And these are like
fins. Yeah.
Not wings.
Yeah, they're like fins. Well, I was talking about these right here.
Oh.
Those parts right there. That's kind of like wings, and then you have the vents where the air goes through. That's what is, I believe, representing. The vents is for air to go through the body. Anyway, I'm reading off way too much into it. Okay, go ahead.
And before we transform him, he does come with some accessories which are meant for robot mode, but you can store them in his vehicle mode. So he comes with 2 of these little swords here, and getting a closer look. you can see that they do have a nice silver paint or
a silver sheen to it.
A silver sheen to it.
Yeah. With the red dot in the handle on both sides.
And like you saw, you do get 2 of these.
Now, is that sword rubber? I don't think it's rubber.
No.
It's plastic.
It's plastic.
Okay, so how sharp is the ends of them? Yeah, you want to be careful with the ends.
I think they are really...
They're kind of sharp.
Really sharp.
Okay.
Well, kinda.
Yeah. So...
They're not really sharp.
Just be aware of the ends of the sword so you don't poke yourself. I don't know.
And the way you store these is on the bottom here. Okay. The way you store these is you want to take the blades here and slide them in to these holes or these grooves here, and you want these facing like this. And also, these swords have these 2 holes on the blades that will go into these 2 little tabs. To help keep it stored in.
Okay, so the swords go in there and then they go into the 2 tabs. Now that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. They incorporated that with the car mode, so this way it would stay under the car mode. Okay.
And he also does come with a normal sword here that does have the silver blade with the matte finish, you said?
Yeah, the sheen.
Or sheen.
Sheen-like finish. A silver sheen to it.
And the red dot here. And the way you store this in vehicle mode is you have to remove the blade off of the handle itself. And on the bottom, the handle of the sword does have this peg that will go into that little white hole right there. And the blade goes into that hole and this peg, and you want this facing like this. Or I think either way. Oh, no. You actually want it facing like this. So it looks like that. But the problem is that the blade does stick out on the back.
Yeah, sure does. It sticks out, yeah. But if that's the only place that they made where you can put it, then that's the only option you have as far as vehicle storage. So he basically has all of his weapons on him in the alternate mode of his race car mode, Cybertronian race car mode. So I think that's pretty neat. The sword actually breaks down and has its own each area that it goes into. And then you have the bigger swords right here and down here that go in and secure with the tabs. That's some pretty good thinking there.
Storage.
Yeah, storage. That's some pretty good storage. They did a good job.
And that is about it for the weapon storage and his vehicle mode. So now let's get him transformed. First I will have to get his swords out of the underside of his car.
And you just push the blade right back into the handle?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
So to get him transformed, now the transformation is the exact same as Altio, but this has a few of extra steps to him in the transformation. So to start off, you want to come to the front here and untap these sections here. And you want to rotate these up so they look like this. And then you want to take these and bring these down. And as you bring these down, these front wheels will push up. Just like that. And coming to the sides here, you want to take this section here, which will become his feet, and untap them. Well, but before you untap these, come to the back here and untap this back section here and bring it up, and this taps into these two holes and these two hook tabs here. Then you want to take these things and untap them and bring them out. And then you want to take these and untap these and bring them out. And on the bottom here, you want to take what will become his legs and untap them. Well, on the bottom, you do need to take these like front skirt pieces and bring these up. So you can bring down what will become his legs. And if I show you on the bottom, that gray tab is where that hole goes into. And once these are untabbed, you just want to take his knees here and bring these down, and these will just tap into place. And then you just do the exact same on the other side as well. And for his feet here, you want to take his toes here and point them down. And you want to take these and shift these up and bring down his entire foot down. And take these heel spurs and rotate them up so they look like this. And then you just do the exact same on the other side. And for the front here, you just want to untap the cockpit here and bring it up so you can take the front of the car here and split it in half and bring these down, and then you just bring down his legs. Coming around, and then you just want to bring down the front skirts, and you too want to bring down the side skirts and position them like this. Well, you too want to position them at an angle, so that way you can have some room to take the back part of the car and rotate it all the way around. And you just have to make sure that the cockpit is out of your way, so you can rotate the back part of the car around, which is his waist. And then you just bring down the side skirts. And for his arms, you want to come underneath these things and pull these out and bring them down and straighten out his elbows. And for the back tires here, on the inside here, that there is a hinge joint here, and you want this hinge joint facing like this, because you do want to take the back tires and just fold them up. So that way it tucks in a lot better. Well, it still does move, as you can see, but I would have wished that they would have done more to the
tire?
Yes, to the back tires.
Yeah, you wish it would have collapsed and folded in a little bit more. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But and then you just rotate his arms down. Rotate his elbows, rotate his hands. And that's an arm all done. And then you do the exact same on the other arm. And then you want to take his chest, untap it, and flip it down. So that way you could take this part, which is connected by this part and his head inside, and rotate it all the way to the back. But before you do that, on the inside of this white thing, you do want to take these gray things and flip them out. But I will have to use a tool to help me out. And once these are folded out, you now want to take this and this entire section and bring it all the way down. And you do need to get the arms out of the way. And this part here, where we put the blade into that hole from this square thing, is now going to tap in to the inside here. Oh, and there is a tab, a white tab that goes into a black hole here. And then you just close these up to help fill in these gaps here. And we're almost done. Because the last thing you need to do is close his chest up, tap it in, turn his head around, and on the back you do want to take the cockpit and just bring it up so it's more compact. And you're done. So there you have Drift, or Stray, in his robot mode. So now, let me adjust the camera some, so we can get a full body shot.
You can definitely tell that his persona is always like a sworded warrior. He's always had swords. As far as I know, he's always had swords. I don't think he's ever had a gun. He's like a, I don't know, I guess you would call him a Cybertronian samurai.
Yes. Because he has been like a samurai.
Yeah, in IDW, if I'm correct, he was actually a bad guy that switched to the Autobots, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But he did have a different name.
Yeah.
Before he became Drift.
Right. And this is the IDW now. Wasn't there a Drift in the Transformer movies?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Michael Bay.
Michael
Bay Transformer. Okay. Yes, and as a matter of fact, Drift looked more like a samurai there too, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not imagining it. Okay. Right. So yeah, I would kind of say that Drift is the homage to the samurai warrior. He's stealthy, he's quiet, he's very lethal, and he is nobody to be messed with. He had an identity crisis in, you so call it, identity crisis in IDW. Then he found out that the Decepticons is not really where he needs to be. So he switched allegiance and went to the Autobots, and he's been with them ever since, so far that we know of, that we've read on so far. Was he a part of the Wreckers? I don't know. I don't remember if he was part of the Wreckers or not. I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
He hasn't.
I know. Didn't he have words with Prowl? I'm not sure. I may be thinking about another book. Okay. I know somebody chewed his butt, but then he turned around and chewed theirs too. But I forgot who that was. Anyway.
But getting a closer look at him, at his head sculpt here, you can see he does have some brown paint on the head crest and these things on the sides. And on the sides of his head, he does have some painted in red lining here. And some blue paint on his eyes there. And his chest is the exact same, like it was in the vehicle mode, and the Autobot sticker on the corner here is peeling off a little. And his arms here, well, his elbows do look exactly like the exact same as Altio's here. Because him and Altio both have the exact same elbows here. But the shoulder pads are completely new here. And you too have some red paint here. And coming to the back here, you do have some more painted in details here. And he does have the, like, side skirts here. Well, these are actually sheaths for his swords, which we'll get to in a minute. And his waist is the exact same. Well, actually, no. Drift has a little modifications done to his waist here. But it does have that same, like, yellowish paint to it. And coming down to his legs. And they did do a lot of remolding to his legs here. And for articulation, head is on a ball joint. Arms are on ball joints. And they can move in and out if you use that transformation joint. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ball joint at the hands. Hands can open, and he does have the trigger finger hand. And he does have a waist swivel, but you do have to move the cockpit section down a little so you can move his waist. Ball joint at the side skirts or sheaths, and they do have a hinge joint here. And the front skirts can move up, so his legs can move forward, back, and you can't move the cockpit out of the way here. And his legs can move forward, back, in and out, thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Ball joint at the feet, and ball joint at the toes. And that's it. And now, just get him situated real quick. And he can have him hold his two swords in his hands. Or if you don't want him holding these two swords, you can store these on those two sheaths on the sides. And the way you store these is okay. You want these facing like this, so you can slide them in like that. If you don't want him holding these two swords. And for this sword here, you can, of course, have him hold it in either one of his hands. And if you don't want him holding this sword, on the back, you do have this thing that you do want to flip out, which I may need to use a tool. And then you just slide it into this hole here for storage. And you want the sword facing like this, so it can fit in. Just like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and have him hold this sword here.
So you have a lot of articulation with this guy, and you have storage for all of his weapons. I like the way his swords go into his sheaths. His sheaths. Gotta be careful how you say that word. He really looks like a warrior. That is for sure. That is ready for slicing and dicing. He's a really good representation. Looks good.
And the reissue version, I think that's how you call it, or they may call it, they might have called it something else besides just reissue. But the other version of the Mastermind Creations Drift comes with some more swords and also a hoodie attached to a cape that you would fit on his head, like in the comics. But this is, like I already told y'all, the original version, not the other one, where it comes with more accessories compared to the original one right here.
So this is the IDW Drift.
And like with all the other Mastermind Creations figures, which I don't have, you get the collector's card and the instructions / comic book, if it has a little comic in it. don't know.
We've read the Spotlight on in the IDW of Drift, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And how you see him right there is exactly how he's pretty much represented in the IDW Spotlight of him. And the Spotlight goes more in depth because you're looking at a warrior who vowed to swear to fight for one allegiance, then turn around and go to something else because it just started disagreeing with him in the way he was taught and the wisdom he received from other teachers. So there's no honor in the way the Decepticons do and maintain power and control. So he does not believe in that, so he switched. And he has been a good guy ever since.
And but before we end this video, for a little size comparison, here he is next to his repaint and heavily remold Altio here, or Senator Ratbat. So you can see how much remolding both of these have. And the parts that I can see that have not been changed are the front skirt pieces, of course his arms, because both of them have the same arms. And I think their thighs. Yes, their thighs are also the same. But everything else is all been changed for both of these guys.
So it's basically based on the same transformation model, they just added different things in to make it different. Okay.
Yes. And there is a Mastermind Creations wing, but I don't have wing. All I have is Altio, or Senator Ratbat. So, final thoughts, but both of his modes do look really cool, and I don't think I have any issues with it. Well, an issue I have with it is these back wheels here, where they sit on his shoulders here. I wish that they would do something else with these, because as you can see, they still do move.
They still rock back and forth. Yeah.
That's really the only problem I have with it.
Although you do have to say that them collapsing the wheels, making them fold in half, that's pretty good. That's pretty ingenious.
Yes.
That's a way to get the wheel out of the way. That, yeah. Okay. You took a circle, cut it in half, and fold it over. Alright.
But everything else looks really good and accurate to his comic book self.
Yep, I'm impressed with him. I like what they did with all of his weapons.
and a lot of the remolding that they did.
Looks good.
So I think that's about it. So there you have it. Mastermind Creations Stray. Their take on an IDW Drift. And if you like this video, give us a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out some other videos you may have missed, there's a playlist set up on my YouTube channel. So I think that is about it. So thanks for watching.